Ya'u Uma E Uda. What's goody to the goddess and the gods, and what's popping to my people? And well, brother can't be ashy, so either I take care of it now or y'all talk about me. What you gonna do? You know what I mean? I would tell y'all Happy New Year, but since it's not the new year and we don't even know what year it is, then ain't no sense us talking about that. But I hope you feel better. A lot of y'all feel better. Didn't nothing change but the day, but you just feel better. And I'm okay with that. For real. I'm okay with any type of victory. Psychological, whatever it be, physical, real, as long as you feel victorious, I'm rocking with you. All I know is we're gonna do a show about that too. I know y'all seen that TikTok where that young lady showing you the dates on postcards and all, how it used to be the year 7,000 and this, that, and the third. See, they tricked you with the A, B, and the BC. You can't just in the middle of life just start a new era talking about it's BC now. What? How you gonna do that? What about the numbers before? See, y'all fell for that. They started all the way up and counted backwards and then got to zero and started over. What the fuck does that mean? No. If if they was counting the 35th dynasty, then goddamn it, what about all this shit before that? You see, we got to keep the numbers going from all the way back then. This ain't no damn year 2000. How they gonna tell you? Just think about what they say to y'all. They say all type of shit to y'all. They tell y'all they found people bones from human beings 1,000,000 years to 2,000,000 years ago on this planet. So then, if they found bones from humans 2,000 years ago, 2,000,000 years ago, how the fuck could this be the year 2000? Let's do the math. They found bones from humans either 1,000,000 or 2 years ago. That's what they admit, and they lying to that anyway. But that's what they'll admit to. So we'll leave them where they're admitting to. They're admitting to 2,000,000. Okay. If they're admitting to 2,000,000 years ago, they found human bones. How the fuck is it 2024? Because y'all let the white people urinate in the wind and tell you it's raining. That's the problem. So what you did was you let these people count backwards from the time frame that they was willing to admit. They'll even tell you it was other dynasties before that, but they don't talk about them. They just say we found some tablets from them, but not much. But we starting right here in Egypt, right here at this spot. We ain't gonna tell you about none of the stuff that happened, because we're gonna start with this dynasty right here. We're not gonna tell you how they rose to power. We're not gonna tell you where the throne came from. We're not gonna tell you if they just invented thrones right then and there. Like, how could that be the first? Because we had to go from primitive to big gold shit. But they don't talk to you about that. They tell you it's 2024. Because we counted backwards, then we started over. Deal with it. So I don't know what year this is, but it ain't 2024. And the new year starts with new life, which would be the springtime. How can the new year be when everything dies? Is everything dead now? You know why you believe that? Because you believe God sent the albino guy on a boat to a place where it's really fucking cold at, and that's where everything started. So using that logic, then it would be probably New Year. This is a Viking New Year, is what it is. If you're a Viking or you love Jesus, Happy New Year's. So either way it go, I know y'all get self-righteous when I'm late and feel like y'all don't like it. Even though y'all ass be late all the time anyway. But all right, I was a couple minutes late. It's cool. Now what's gonna happen is uh damn. I change okay. I gotta get I'm trying to get this Facebook thing to work out and it ain't working out. Um and then should I put a title on here? I don't know. Uh I hate when people talk to me. All right, I don't know. Okay, no. Send link. Okay, uh uh damn people why go everybody just could be here. Everybody could just be here, but no. Everybody wanna ask me where I'm at. Where the fuck is y'all at? I'm where I be. All right. So once I get my life in order, then I'm gonna get it popping. And I hate that I got so much uh oh, this ain't even the right damn thing. Look, y'all tripping. Okay, go live. There we go. Now flip this then flip that. Okay. Goodness gracious. That seemed like a lot. All right. So now I got we got all kind of stuff we're gonna deal with. We got all kinds of stuff we're gonna deal with. It's gonna get ugly. I can promise you that much. But I'll say this. Um y'all notice how fast they slid from well no, we ain't gonna deal with that yet. Uh I keep forgetting to upload the clip, but I know y'all seen this. Um the brothers and sisters and killed each other over the Christmas toys or however that shit went. Like I was too disgusted to even watch that shit. One brother then killed everybody over some goddamn Christmas presents because somebody gift was more expensive than his or some weird shit like that. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was so disgusted I didn't even watch it. I kept saying I was gonna watch it, and it was just like, are you fucking kidding me? But y'all don't see like y'all not celebrating no damn Jesus birthday. Why y'all play games? This shit is crazy to me. Like y'all don't even talk about Jesus. Y'all don't go to church that night. Some of y'all do, which don't matter, but the vast majority of y'all don't go anywhere near a church on Christmas Eve. Y'all get fucked up, throw parties, and eat chitlins. What does that got to do with Jesus? Spending shitloads of money on toys. Do y'all understand? Let me explain something to you. I feel like I have to do this because y'all don't read the Bible and you practice the religion. So I feel it's my duty every once in a while to kind of explain to you a little bit about your religion. So, for instance, the main character from your religion is this dude called Jesus. And contrary to what you think, he was like a revolutionary. And yeah, they show him as a white guy, but his behavior was super like he was like a nigga. Revolutionary. He was like, if Jesus would have been around during the 70s, he'd have been a nigga with an afro talking about power to the people. He would have been a Black Panther. Totally. He was on that type of vibe. So what I'm saying is he hated the establishment. Like Jesus wouldn't have been caught dead buying toys from the Romans to pass out to little Jewish children. Just think about what we're saying here. Imagine Jesus going to one of the little parking lots that the Romans got, paying for a tree, taking it back to his little soiree. Him and Mary got the tree in the corner, little baby Jesus over there, and he opens up all the presents that he bought from the Romans. So imagine Jesus going shopping at Roman shopping markets to get some things so that on Christmas morning he would have presents to give to his little Jewish baby. Him and Mary Magdalene just sitting in front of the tree with their little Jewish baby, opening up toys that they bought from the Romans. Could you imagine Jesus doing that? That's what y'all be doing. Like, I don't even believe in this shit, but y'all do. So I'm just saying, like, if you're gonna believe in it, at least believe in it the right way. How you gonna say you believe in Jesus, but you're not a revolutionary? You believe in Jesus, but y'all vote. Christians be voting. Do y'all understand? That is crazy. And I can't believe I just thought of this. Like, I should have thought of this a long time. Christians be voting. Real life Christians. People, I'm talking about real life Christians. People with Jesus crosses on. Y'all actually be voting. Imagine Jesus standing in line, waiting on his turn to vote to see who's going to be the next Roman ruler. Jesus just patiently, they're going to Mary holding the baby out. That's, you know what? I wasn't gonna tell y'all, but I gotta come clean now. The picture that Mary always holding the baby, that's really Mary Magdalene holding little Jesus baby, and they were standing in line waiting to vote. That's why that's the real secret that they hiding from y'all. That's what they don't want y'all to know. Jesus used to vote. Just like everybody else. He used to vote and pay his taxes and buy Christmas toys. That's the real secret that they don't want you to know. This is the type of sense y'all be making. You can't love Jesus and love politicians. You can't even if you gonna, and here's our thing. If you gonna follow the religion, follow it properly. Study it properly and live the tenets. You know why y'all don't? Because y'all know soon as we catch y'all doing some fuckery, you could be like, the Lord know I ain't perfect, but that's the first thing come out your mouth. Jesus wasn't perfect. Jesus was the only perfect man. So the Lord know I ain't perfect. That's why he died for our sins. Y'all got a whole spiel. You don't know the Bible, but you got a whole spiel for when people ask you why you don't know what you're supposed to know or why you don't do what you're supposed to do. You got that down to a science. You don't know nothing else, but you got that part down to a science. You cannot, and I'm going to say this again, then we're going to move on, because tonight's going to be fire, so I ain't going to waste the time. But you cannot serve Jesus and vote. And don't think y'all doing the right thing when you talking about Trump's a racist. I'm not voting for Donald Trump. Okay, then don't. But if you love Jesus, you can't vote for the other guy either. That's the part y'all be lost at. You can't vote for anybody if you love Jesus, realistically. But, of course, y'all will have some weird excuse of why you can. But in order to be a real representative and follower of Jesus, you have to be anti-establishment. Well, in nature, you should be anti-establishment, but there's that part that says obey your masters like Jesus. So then, you know what? Y'all right. Vote for who you want. Jesus said you got to obey these people. Well, never mind. So much for that idea. We're gonna have some fun tonight. There, but all BS aside, we at the point where we killing over Christmas presents. Well, we've been killing over Christmas presents, but now the kids is killing because they didn't get enough, or didn't get the right one, or didn't get the most expensive one. Don't y'all see what's happening to us? Remember that big thing? Well, not big thing, but they turned it into a big thing. It actually went viral when the sister didn't want the little Filipino boy to take her to Chick-fil-A. And so there's this entitlement we have now. And it's like nobody wants to be the example they want to see. They just want the entitlement. Everybody has this entitlement thing going on. So like if now I'm aware that, and all men are aware that the first time you go eat with a woman, so y'all having a dinner date, it should be something decent. But now, should it be Rue Chris or some 5-star elegant joint? The first, there's no concrete rule on that. It's all about what is. It's about the moment and the person paying, to be honest with you. Because we can't have this thing where we want guys to be chivalrous and take on the bill, but then say, okay, if you don't take me to a certain level or place, then you out of pocket. Now, if he take her to McDonald's, he out of pocket. For him to go Chick-fil-A, I mean, I've taken my wife to Chick-fil-A for an anniversary before. There's, like, you shouldn't put that on a person because you don't know what that guy is comfortable with. Now, what you can do is this. If it's that far out of your comfort zone, then just be a lady and excuse yourself. The whole making a scene part, that's the part that I'm speaking about, the entitlement. Feeling so entitled that I'm going to take a total stranger and put them on blast on camera. And then when it goes sideways, then it's like, poor me. So that's a dangerous space. Now, we talking about Christmas presents. That's a gift. That's something that you're going to open up that came from a loved one that you didn't have to pay for. Now, all of us have got some bogus ass gifts. I mean, I'm a dad. Y'all know the rumors about Father's Day. But now I can't lie. Both of my wives is dope, and on Father's Day, I get dope presents. Now, we not no extremely extravagant people. That's just not how we get out. But I get them dope ass Father's Day t-shirts and stuff that I want. That's just like little stuff, but it's dope. So but no matter what it is, I'm appreciative. So for you to open up Christmas presents, then look over at your brothers and sisters like, why that nigga got more than me? Y'all get to arguing, and the next thing you know, somebody start blaming. That's something different. And that's something that we really got to pay attention to. That's a sickness. That's a sick space right there. And we just got to think about it. What make you like kill your sibling over a Christmas present? That's way out. That's way out there, fam. Y'all got to think about that. Just think about that. That it's gonna be. I remember Christmas. I used to celebrate it. It's gonna be some stuff you wasn't crazy about, but you'll take. Then there's other stuff you really liked. But I ain't never looked under the tree and wanted to shoot somebody, bro. Are you kidding me? It's free, if nothing else. But that speaks to a mental space where we at. And it's reason why we barking up this tree we barking up tonight. And I promise you it's about to get real ugly. Y'all see that whole bottom down there? Them loaded clips ready to start busting. This I can't say it enough. And I'm gonna prove it Saturday. So y'all better be in attendance. Saturday at 7:00. Your boy got another debate. And I promise you, I'm gonna cook. Because we gotta stop being scared of the truth. Okay, I get it's tradition. I get you love granny, you love mama, you love grandpa, and you don't want to feel like you disrespecting them. But a lot of y'all not being realistic. A lot of y'all look at me, and then you look at your grandpa or your granny, and you deduct, how could this nigga know more than my grandpa? How did this nigga know more than everybody else? It's not about me knowing more than everybody else. It's about the time period. I have information available to me that your grandparents and great-grandparents and your mama, they didn't have the information available to them. So certain things they just couldn't know. So now you just have to understand. And another part you have to understand is a lot of our peoples, when they came into this country, they was illiterate. So our great-great-great-grandparents was illiterate. They wasn't reading. What the fuck? You go back 3 generations, black people, none of them was really reading. So you have to think about that. People taking on a belief system that they can't read. So when your great-great-great-great-great-grandparents took on this belief system, at the point where they became under this belief system, they could not read and write. Now, generations later, they learned to read and write, but by that time, they were already part of the system. That's what I said. This is the part I don't get about us. How do y'all could admit we were slaves. You could admit we used to be kings and queens somewhere else. You could admit that this system that we're under is corrupt. You can admit politics is corrupt. You could admit to all of these atrocities. You could admit that they destroyed our family. You could admit that they destroyed the education system. All of this shit. But you believe politicians tell the truth. Athletes and entertainers actually give a fuck about you. And somehow they're allowing you to have religions that actually lead you to God. Nothing they do is godly, but they're going to give you a religion that leads you to God. And I know y'all got all of these fancy reasons of how y'all think, but I promise you, all you got to do is show up Saturday, and we're going to knock a hole in this whole doctrine. If you leave the debate Saturday still believing this bullshit, you got whatever you, and you know what? I take that back. I ain't gonna call it bullshit. I apologize for that. I will simply say, if you leave the debate Saturday and you still believe in this doctrine, then that's on you. That's all I can say. That's on you. We're going to provide, I am going to provide an abundance. I'm talking about an abundance of proof that you've been had. Proof. I ain't talking about assumptions. I'm talking about documented proof that you've been religiously had. I'm going to provide that Saturday. And if nothing else, look at the behavior of these people that worship the same people y'all worship. They believe in the same God as you. They got the same Jesus as you. How come the higher up you get into this religion, the weirder it get? And how come everything always turns sexual? When you get to the bottom line of everything, it always turns sexual deviant. Why it ain't enough to just be stealing money for the community? Why once we get to the bottom of all of this money still, you done stole enough money. These dudes got fortresses. They got huge mansions, properties, all of this. You have stole your way into a fucking mansion. You have stole your way into a private jet. And you still got to touch little boys. Why? Why? Why does it always lead to little boys? Every time. When it comes to this religion that y'all are so into, but it always leads to them touching children, mostly little boys. And you can't see how generations of under this religion of getting little boys fondled, touched, and whatsoever. Now you fast forward to a society where black men readily, proudly throwing dresses on left and right. And y'all got the nerve to think it's fashion, the culture, the changing of the times. It's just the way the world is. People got the right to be what they want. You think it's all of this shit. You know why you think it's all that? Because if you admit that it's anything else, you'd have to get off your ass and do something. You ain't prepared to do nothing. So it's easier for you to pass it off as this a fad. It's just the way it go, and then you can ignore it, and you ain't got to do shit. And that's the bulk of the reason. Most of the time, for most of y'all, you don't have to do shit when you ignore shit. So now, and before we go in, I want y'all to notice how that shit switched from Puffy, and now it's all about take that Jakes. Take that Jakes. Take that Jakes, huh? Take that Jakes is the topic now. We done fell back on P. Fiddly. P. Fiddly on your diddly. We not dealing with him no more, huh? Well, what shocked me is the amount of y'all that justified take that Jakes in the freak parties. The amount of y'all that had a justifiable reason for Mr. Take That Jakes in them freak parties, singing the Puffy, happy birthday, looking like a fat ass happy birthday. Hey, he looked like a big ass turtle. He ain't got no neck. Happy birthday. Big ass turtle Jakes. Take that turtle Jakes, huh? So look, happy I can't even stop singing that shit now. That shit is in my head and it can't get out. Happy birthday. Take that, Jakes. Take that, Turtle Jakes. Now look, here's what's surprising to me. The only thing I'm surprised at is y'all just now realize he had sugar in his tank. What Sanford say? He looked like he got hit with a sugar truck. Y'all just now figured out that Take That Turtle Man Jakes got sugar in the tank, huh? Boy. That's the power that these people hold over you. That you could be looking at that man right in front of you in all his sweetness and can't see it. Happy birthday. But the sad part is, look how many of them. See, this, it's like we got, I did that lecture on compartmentalization and compartmentalized thinking. And so what they have done, they have fragmented our mind. And it's just a simple process of making everything into boxes. You see all them boxes at the bottom of my screen? You see this screen is a box. You see that's a box. Your cell phone's a box. Everything's a box. Your car's a box. Your bed's a box. Your pillow's a box. Your fridge is a box. Your microwave is a box. Your stove is a box. Your cabinets is a box. Every door you walk in and out of, all boxes. Everything is a box. And so it teaches you on a subconscious level to store everything separately. So you compartmentalize things. And what that does is it keeps us from connecting dots that should be connected. So we can't take what's over here and bring it over here because we got it in a box. If everything was just flowing freely, then certain thoughts would be able to mingle with other thoughts and you would realize things like, oh my God, look at that. But they did a good job on slowly making us think. That's why the statement says, think outside the box. That's a true thing. Because what that means is do not conform. But why they say think outside the box? What box are they talking about? I just told you. Everything is a box. So it makes it hard for us to see certain things. But like, look how many sex scandals. We always talking about pastor with the money. He don't get caught with the money too often. That rarely ever goes wrong. It's the sex scandals that we always get. And now it used to be pastor getting the little girls pregnant and all that. That just show you. That's what we used to. We used to hear pastor then knocked up some little girl or been messing with some of the little church members, some of the young ladies, and he got 2, 3 of them. That's what we grew up hearing. Now in this era, we growing up hearing pastor got 2, 3, 4 boyfriends, little boys. He got little boys in the congregation that he flying all over the country, taking exotic trips with little boys, lying saying they his son when really he fondling them. So this is where we got to connect the dots. Why little boys? Once again, why this attack on little boys? I told y'all what they're hiding from you on the plantation is there was way more homosexual rape than the raping of women. Yes, the women got raped, but these are homosexuals. They don't care about women. They're like men. So lots of men and little boys got raped. And it's sad, but it's sad that we can't put this thing together. And I really want to break it down tonight, but I don't want to go too far in it because it's part of my debate Saturday. So I need y'all to be there Saturday because I'm gonna break down what this boy thing is all about. Why the pastor like little boys? I'm gonna explain that Saturday. We're gonna break that down. But if you think about it, we can go back and just keep going back. Creflo Dollar messing with little boys and young men in a congregation. Now it's TD. Now they talking about TD Jakes, but it was Creflo Dollar. 2 years ago, Kurt Franklin's son came out and said Kurt Franklin used to touch on him, and his son is. But now I guess he back together, and him and Pop's getting along or whatever. I don't know, but he definitely came out and said it. You got Tyler Perry. A lot of y'all don't even know that he started with the church. I don't see how y'all don't know. Those who's and this is why I heard a lot of people saying this, and I keep forgetting to say this is why when Tyler Perry laid his hands on TD Jakes, he acted like it affected him because Tyler Perry used to be a pastor. Tyler Perry pastored a church. And he started his plays with the kids programs. So he started off doing kids plays, and then he went to doing grown-up plays. So now you got to think about this. This guy, who we can clearly see is a homosexual, allegedly, and has made a career from wearing a dress. Ain't no alleged about that. But that same guy used to be around a church full of children. I wonder what's in his past that we don't know about, that we may never know about because he's so far up. Now, you got two brothers that have had black studios. Cube Vision. Ice Cube made his money from talking about murdering black people and selling drugs. That's how he got rich. So y'all want to equate him to some fabulous rap career and then movie career and then say Cube did it the right way. Cube a piece of shit just like the rest of them. You think he got this far by playing fair? No, he did exactly what they all do. He got rich off talking about destroying our communities. He got rich off that. Then he went into Hollywood. And if you ask me, in my opinion, he had everything in the world to do with killing Easy, setting him up. He had something to do with it. And all you got to do is look at him, show you the Death Certificate album cover a year after it happened, a year after or a year before. He got Death Certificate, American flag with the syringe on there. We know Easy E got a lethal injection. And then after that, look at everything. Look at Ice Cube career after Death Certificate. It don't go nothing but this way. All you got to do is pay attention. After the bullshit happened that we're accusing them of, just look at their career after that. And then see for yourself. You don't got to believe nothing nobody else say. You could see for yourself. So Ice Cube made his millions off of the destruction, helping destroy the black community. First gangster rap group. And he wrote most of the lyrics, just so we clear on that. And we know from everything they tell us, he wasn't a street dude. So the dude who wasn't a street dude, who was a student, ended up writing most of the lyrics for the gangster rap group. Who really was this guy? Makes you wonder. I'm gonna have to open that book up one day because I'm willing to bet he ain't who we think. Police. But anyway, let's go and get into this thing. See, y'all don't got no patience for everybody that left on Facebook. We about to cook now. So now this so who we got? We got Creflo Dollar, we got Kurt Franklin, we got let's go back further. Shit, let's go to Jim Jones. Y'all remember Jim Jones? Now ask yourself, why would any silly ass rapper, especially somebody black, name himself after a white boy preacher who led all black people out somewhere and mass murdered them? And y'all just go right on. And you forgot, what was Jim Jones' song, his sign when he came into the game? The 3 finger over the eye. He came into the game and his symbol was 3 fingers over the eye. It don't get more satanic than that. He telling you exactly who he is. This the 666. Then he putting it over the eye. He's showing you who he's aligned to. That's why we don't know what we be looking at. Drake come out with OVO and it's a owl. The same owl on your dollar bill. The same owl that white folks be naked in front of throwing baby. See, if you don't pay attention to certain things, then you ain't gonna. That's why I always say you got to know something to know something. Y'all be missing certain things and then be like convinced ain't nothing going on over here. No, you just missed it. So now, here you got, it show you how lost we are. Here you got one white boy that convinced a congregation of all black folks that he's a Messiah. And his nickname was Father. So everybody went around the church calling this white boy Father. Everybody called him Father. And if y'all gonna hear tonight some of his speeches. I had never heard his speeches before. Oh my God. Yeah, let's get to it. Let's get to it. Wait till y'all get a load of this guy. This white boy was something else. Check him out. Damn. Hold on, where we at? Here we go.
Ruling from the Vatican. Pope Francis is now announcing that Roman Catholic priests.
Oh no, that ain't the right one. Hold on. Well, we might as well listen to this. Let's start here. Fuck it.
Blessings to same-sex couples with some exceptions. It's a massive change in Vatican policy, with Vatican officials saying that those seeking God's love and mercy shouldn't be subject to, quote, an exhaustive morale analysis to receive it. However, the Vatican says that this should in no way be confused with the sacrament of marriage between a man and a woman. But the document says that requests for such blessings for same-sex couples should not be denied, full stop.
Okay, now I'm gonna say 2 things. Well, first of all, I do not promote homosexuality, but I don't get involved. Meaning, if you choose to be a homosexual, I'm not gonna bash you about it. That's your choice. So, what I will give you is 2 thought processes. Now, the first thought process I'm going to give you is a logical one. People will say they believe in God. If you believe in God, then you believe God created people. Okay, so now you have to ask yourself, do you think God made a mistake? And that's on you to navigate that space. I can't tell you wrong if you think God made a mistake. I can tell you I don't think God made a mistake, but if that's the conclusion you reach, that's between you and God. All I ask people to do is think. Do you believe in God? If you say yes, okay. Do you believe God made a mistake when he created humans? If you say no, okay, well, here's what God created. God created a masculine principle and she has an any. A feminine principle, she has an any. Masculine principle, he has an outie. So the outie goes into the any. Like a puzzle. That was God's design. I don't got to question it, but damn it, it feels good. So all I'm saying is, that's what I go off for. Me personally, I go off of the fact that I believe in God and I believe God had a design and I agree with the design. Just that simple. We don't got to get into the politic part. That's just how I look at it. Now, let's take it a step further. Now, from the biblical standpoint, the Bible says if a man lay with a man the way he lay with a woman, it's an abomination. Now, I say two things. One thing I say is I agree with that. The second thing I say is I don't believe in the Bible. So I'm not coming from a biblical standpoint. I just agree with that part. So now, here's my thing. None of what we're talking about is personal. I gave y'all my personal opinion, but now we're just talking about what the Bible says. So if the Bible says if a man lay with a man the way he lay with a woman, it's abomination. How the fuck can the Pope come say God was wrong? Y'all don't look at it that way because y'all like to get away with what you like to get away with. So y'all like, yay, Pope, he right. No. Fuck all that sweet shit. Why does the Pope have the right to undo what God said? According to y'all think God wrote that book. I'm gonna prove Saturday God didn't have shit to do with that book, but y'all think he did. So in that case, why does the Pope get to erase what God said? He doesn't, but I tell you why he does. Because he has a title. His title is the Vicar of Christ. He's the substitute for Christ. So the Pope is literally looked at as Christ on earth. He's the closest embodiment, according to the church. He's the closest embodiment you can get to Christ on earth. He's the substitute for Christ. He's also the number one pedophile on the planet. How is that possible? So now, let me get this straight. We've been looking at, you just got to follow the bouncing ball because it happens so fast. If you blink, you'll miss it. We've been looking at, for decades, thousands upon thousands of pedophile cases amongst the Catholic Church. This shit, they are hands down, and they'll even admit it. All you got to do is Google it. The number one pedophiles on the planet, Catholic Church. So now, the papacy comes out and says, men now have the right to be together. So now, if men have the right to be together, and y'all gonna be grooming men all day, then you literally just okayed all of these popes the right to groom their next boyfriend legally. They can no longer go to jail for it. Because now all they gotta do is just buy their time to around 14. So now you have to understand that while the Pope is saying that it's okay for same-sex marriages, all over the country, they are trying to make it legal and say that, and they even got a name for it. I can't remember the name for it, but there's a name now for a grown-up and someone underage having a relationship. And that's what they're trying to call it, a relationship. So they're trying to say it's a sexual preference and you shouldn't be faulted for your sexual preference. It's what you're attracted to. So why should we be faulted for that? They're literally trying to legalize pedophilia right in front of your face. And they're starting at the top with the church. And you're sitting here acting surprised. So now you can go. I always do this. Oh man, I'm never gonna forgive me. Let me see something. I do it every fucking time, y'all.
Keep it moving.
Damn it. This ain't it either. Let me see.
I don't care what you think of my father.
Oh yeah,
no
this
apologist.
This the one right
I
here.
simply owe it to those I failed most to offer a glimpse of the man many of them chose to love and learn to fear. And my father could, in an instant, identify what was most important to you, and probably what you were most afraid of.
In the beginning, he'd say, if you believe in God and you want to call me God, that's fine. If you need to call me Father, that's fine too. So everyone called him Father.
Because Father already knows. Father knows his business.
He was the kindest.
See, I don't be having a heart to say the shit that some of these people say. If you believe in God and you want to call me God, that's fine. How you look at your congregation with a straight face, say that, and they okay with it? If you believe in God, everybody here believe in God is church, and you want to call me God, that's fine. Like nobody offered, but he's just offering. If you had this uncontrollable, yeah, let me just put that out there. If you got this uncontrollable urge to call me God, hey.
Generous Father we'd ever know.
I'll always become all things to all men, that by any means I might save them more. I'm knowing what I'm doing.
This is a man who had money, who had power, who had freedom, and could do anything he wanted. What does that do to people? Somehow that affected Jim Jones in the very worst kind of way.
Because I've got more power than anyone, but my power is dependent upon your faith and your willingness to serve.
But you know, once you have power, you think of ways you can use your power. And Jim Jones was never at a loss of how he could use his power.
He started to alienate you from your families, from your immediate families, destroy that family unit.
Men and women were in effect divorced and asked to remarry each other.
I was probably 14 when he started talking about sex with other women from the pulpit.
To think that people are so damn picayune about who they go to bed with, and particularly you women, all you have to do is lay there, and by God, I've had to keep it going all night.
The stories about Jim Jones
Wait a minute,
and his,
wait.
sexual
Why is he even
are legend.
Why is he even talking about that in church? People are so picky about who they lay with. And all you women got to do is just lay there. And I've had to keep it going all night. What sermon is this? Like, what's the end sermon? Like, Pastor, what are we talking about? And how do people in the church just sit there like, hey, man?
Not just with the women followers of his people's temple, but men as well.
If he saw a young person that he found attractive, be they male or female, he would come on to them. And how could you say no to Jim Jones?
The only thing I can do is to be an aggressive heterosexual with a man or woman. I don't care, whatever you want to be. You be the woman. I would do that for socialism.
He didn't like it, he said. He really didn't enjoy it, but he was forced to do this for the cause.
I told you there, I've had to crawl in bed with men and put up with for this cause. I've had to lay with women I hated till my skin crawled.
Sex was another form of manifesting
Why
his
have
power.
you had to do this, Pastor? Why have you had to lay in the bed with men and lay around women you hated? To you? What does this have to do with God's word? See, this is always the problem. Y'all let so much shit slide when people talk to y'all, and then it turns into a damn water park.
That is, it wasn't so much about sexual pleasure as it was dominance. It was the idea that I control your body as well as your mind.
We'd get on these buses that he purchased, these Greyhound buses. We'd travel from San Francisco to Chicago, all across America in the summer.
Bus number 7 was Jim's bus. And in the back of his bus, he had his own private space. I didn't know it at the time, but on that same bus, there were many sexual encounters.
When we got on the bus to go back to San Francisco, he sat down next to me and said, "You don't realize how beautiful you are, do you?" And he said, "I'm attracted to you." And he told me to go into the back of the bus, and I waited there, and then the door opened, and it was John's. And he said, "You're a beautiful girl, and you don't know that. And I want to show you that you are." And then he proceeded just to pull down his little zipper and screw me. And as I lay there, frightened, not sure what to do, and as I shivered, he'd say to me, "This is for you. I'm doing this for you, Debbie."
A lot of my father's craziness was kept well.
He said, "I'm raping you for you. I'm doing this for you." And he would never have been able to get away with such things if it wasn't for the fear of him being connected to this biblical God and him being some type of holy, righteous person. So he's using that. And
on this platform at all, okay? Because first of all, the story was, until tonight, unverified, until yesterday, unverified, okay? I didn't know if it was true or not. The witnesses that was given to me did not respond to me until the church came after me. Now listen, y'all. So I started a little Patreon. I got like the $5 tier. I got the $15 tier. Okay, the $15 tier is for the real shit. Okay, the actual recordings, videos, real receipts and stuff like that. And then in the $5 tier, everything is like alleged, unverified stuff that I just get dropped in my DM, you know, or email, and people don't want to follow up, but they want to remain anonymous. I cannot get up here and really vouch for the receipts if they're not going to talk to me. Okay, if you're not going to be a physical person, let me know who you are. Give me some pictures, some type of anything to corroborate the story. That I'm sorry, it has to remain alleged. Okay. Now, a lot of my information that I actually get from physical people. Okay, and so that stuff is backed up. Now, in this particular story, it was real. Now, y'all saw me. I don't know if you're on my Instagram. I don't know if y'all saw me promote Creflo Dollar allegedly took dick for 4 straight hours. Now, here's the story, okay? This one made the church come after me, and now they're trying to send their lawyers, and I sent mine right on motherfucking back, okay? So, somebody contacts me in my DM, says, "Hey, I don't know if you know, Tasha, that Creflo sleeps with men sometime." Okay. And I said, well, keep going. They said, well, there's this particular guy whose life he's supposedly ruined, and he goes by the name of Ramon. Okay. Now, the person in the DM gave me Ramon's name, everything, profile, said, hit him up. This is what it is. Okay. So he keeps going. He says that, you know, some pastor in Columbus, Pastor Shirley of Columbus, Georgia, needed an extra $50,000 to, I guess, build a church on a lot. TD Jakes and all the other pastors had given her the money, and so she was short $50,000, and so she decided to go to Creflo Dollar to get the money, okay? And so Creflo wanted something in exchange. This is what the person said in the DM. And he said that he would give her the money in exchange for her minister of music, who the minister of music's name is Ramon, okay? The guy who is allegedly, I guess, supposedly the victim. I don't know. Make a long story short, she says that Shirley agreed, sent Ramon down to the hotel to meet Creflo. Creflo came in, took a shower, and was singing in the shower. He was on the phone with this person, telling this person he didn't want to be gay no more. I don't want to be gay no more. I'm not gay no more. That's what he said. I'm not gay no more. I am delivered. That's what he said, okay? Said that he even had a wife that was in the military that lived in Valdosta. She was a lesbian. They both covered for each other while he was gay. And joining the church, he was supposed to free himself and be delivered, okay? I'm not gay no more. I'm not gay. Now, I hope you guys are following me because it is a lot. Are you following me, Jasmine? Okay, perfect. If Jasmine could get it, because she'll be like, hold up, rewind. Now, So Miss Shirley sent them down to the hotel, I guess pretty much pimped him out to supposedly Creflo, okay? And Creflo was in the shower. He asked Ramon to get in the shower. He said no, so Ramon was still on the phone with my source, okay, that gave me the information. And so when Creflo came out of the shower, I guess there was some talk. The person that was on the phone was supposed to be hung up. It wasn't hung up. He overheard Creflo telling Ramon that he is a bottom. Okay. And so he ended up giving dick to Creflo supposedly for 4 hours. Okay. That's what this story entails. So I did not put out this. I didn't even give an opinion on this story. All I did was post what goes on day to day in Tasha K's DM life. Okay. Because this is the shit that I get. And I'm sure Jasmine knows, because a lot of stuff that they can't get to me, she get that bullshit too. So I literally just posted in Patreon for the shits and giggles, because I really can't post it on social platforms because it's too vulgar. Too many cuss words, stuff like that. Now, that was the end of the story, okay? I can't verify this story. I thought it was funny. It was a little kiki. I can't, that's as far as it was supposed to go. Well, Creflo Ministries, okay? Now, I will place those receipts in my Patreon, okay? All of the information that they sent me and Jasmine and my attorneys, I will post the emails in Patreon, okay? Patreon.com/Tasha K. If you want to be nosy and look to see and prove that Creflo ass paid, okay? Or had somebody from his team pay to get in to my Patreon to view the receipts. Now, at the time, I think we had like 500... 200 to 500 Patreon members in that particular tier. I'm not sure. I know altogether we got almost 1,000. Shout out to all the 1,000 winos, VIP members that are in Patreon. I appreciate y'all. Y'all was saying y'all having a good time. Y'all are able to DM me. It's more personal over there. I get it. Okay, out now. Okay.
So that's enough. We know allegedly Creflo. Oh wow. I no comment. Next
story with this particular individual. I feel like there is not one video, at least that I've seen, that just smashes all the details together and just kind of brings you into it. Does that make sense? So let's talk about Eddie Long. Yeah, let's talk about him.
Bishop Eddie Long. Remember him?
So Bishop Eddie Long, born Eddie Lee Long, was an American pastor who served as the senior pastor at New Birth Ministries Baptist Church in Lithonia, Georgia. He actually served there from 1987 to 2007 when he had passed away. And long before he was a pastor, there was actually only about 300 parishioners who attended the church. But by the time Eddie Long had passed away, the church had amassed over 25,000 patrons at the church. But sometime in 2010, that's when Eddie Long had the sharpest decline, probably, if I had to guess, now this is just me being dramatic, but the sharpest decline in fellowship than any mega church pastor had in a very long time. And that stems from his lawsuit by 4 males who accused him of sexual assault in 2010. That's basically where his story begins. So in 2010, 4 of the individuals named in the lawsuit are actually Maurice Robinson, Anthony Flagg, Spencer LeGrand, and Jamal Paris. Now, in total, we all know that there are 5 victims. The 5th victim, who did not launch a lawsuit against Eddie Long, but did take a settlement, happened to go by the name of Santino Kemp. Now, Santino Kemp, okay, say what you want to say about them, but Santino Kemp was probably the most notable one because Santino actually wrote a tell-all book called Our First Lady or First Lady, and you can actually purchase it on Amazon Prime or Kindle Book or whatever it's called. But that book is pretty popular. I read a couple of snippets from the book. Usually in the first part, the pre-long is what they let you see. I did not purchase the book, but apparently it's supposed to be a really good tell-all book. And it discusses in detail Santino's relationship with Eddie Long. But I want to actually get back to the lawsuit launched by Jamal, Maurice, Anthony, and Spencer. Now, all four of the boys actually had the same attorney. And in the claims in the lawsuit, which I'll have linked below, you can actually check out all four of them. Don't worry, we bought the documents for you. But below, all of the lawsuits seem to sound the same. But the very beginning is actually how it entails and shows you in detail how the boys actually got into accordance, however, with Bishop Eddie Long, and it was mainly their parents attending the church, and that's how it began. So in the very beginning of the lawsuit, it states that the defendants actually attended the Longfellows Youth Academy, which was a tuition-based program for young men aged 13 to 18, which purported to train young men to love, live, and lead as they proceed on their masculine journey. Yeah.
You see the bullshit? They always got a youth mentoring service or program, and you see they want to lead young men on their masculine journey. These are homosexual predators who want to lead young men on their masculine journey. Because, see, y'all like to make a separation. You like to say pedophile, and you like to say homosexual in two different breaths. If you like little boys, you would have to be a homosexual first, pedophile second. Because you could be a pedophile and like the sex you're supposed to like. But if you a man targeting little boys, that means you're a homosexual. So let's not get it twisted. These are homosexual men targeting little boys. So they don't want them to stay boys forever. They starting when they little boys because they want to groom them to be lovers as long as they want to have them. So he got youth programs teaching young men how to be masculine and all of this shit, and look what he really doing.
Yeah. It also states that the Longfellow program reputably seeks to create committed men of God and learning life lessons and key leadership principles, which is just so insane. So over the course of all four of the lawsuits, the young men actually state that they met Eddie Long between the ages of 14 and 16 and maintained relationships with him. If you scroll lower down into the lawsuit, it actually states that a lot of them, one of them namely, actually lived with Eddie Long. Yeah. So one of the individuals had actually got into some like a simple assault charge in the 11th grade, and Eddie Long actually reached out to the boy's parents and stated that for his upbringing, if you will, it would be better if he lived with Eddie Long, which he did. Crazy.
So this man reached out to the parents and basically said, hey, look, y'all fucking this little parental thing up. Now send a boy with me and I'm gonna get them together. You would send your child. First of all, what grown man would suggest your teenage boy should come live with him after getting in trouble one time? And then you just get rid of your child like Pastor, take him. So that means he was targeting the boy through the door.
In his claim in the lawsuit below, he actually stated that on a number of occasions, Eddie Long would sneak into his bedroom. Yeah. And lay next to him at night. Now, the part that I find the craziest is that where exactly was his wife in all of this? She's not listed anywhere in the lawsuit as being someone who failed her fiduciary duty.
Thank you. Where the fuck is you at when your husband crawling in the bed with little boys in the middle of the night? What the fuck is you doing? When he get up out the bed in the middle of the night and go get in that little boy bed, where the fuck is you at? Because your ass ain't sleep. These people are sick because she just as fucked up in the head as him. Just because you ain't do it, you sat there and let that man,
tell the police or tell the senior staffers at the church she's not listed. But my question is, where exactly was his wife in all of this? She didn't think it was odd that her husband, who was at the home, it's not like it was a business trip and she didn't know what was going on. They stayed in their home which is wild, which is so wild. When you go a little bit further down into the lawsuit, it gets even more detailed. And this is across all of their lawsuits. It actually states that Eddie Long actually was moving the young boys around in different homes. So, in one of the claims, it actually stated that Eddie Long had moved one of the boys in a house called the Harlow House. And the address that they give of the Harlow House is just a normal, regular, Atlanta neighborhood. But when the attorneys did a little bit more digging, they actually found out that one of the senior pastors at the church owned the house and allowed Eddie Long to allow one of the boys to live in the home. Crazy. In the lawsuit.
So now it's getting weird. So now they got other pastors at the church putting houses in his name for him and letting him house little boys at the house. They running a ring, man. And these are pastors. Well-known, well-respected, millionaire pastors.
Their lawsuits, all four of the lawsuits, it details that Eddie Long actually had the boys shifting into different homes. So sometimes they were just staying at these extended luxury suites at the Hyatt Hotel. Sometimes they were staying at houses that he owned or houses that friends of his owned who were not in the church but just friends of the church or senior pastors owned. The lawsuit also claimed that he purchased one of the boys a Corvette. Another one, he purchased a Dodge Intrepid. You guys remember, it's 2003, okay? A Dodge Intrepid. And another one, he purchased a Chevy Malibu. Also, it stated that he got them passports, and at different intervals in their relationship, if you will, with Eddie Long, he was taking them to New Zealand to.
Oh my God. Y'all don't understand how sick this is. In a lot of these foreign countries, they laws is different. So it's okay to openly be with little boys in a lot of these places. So you get these little boys a passport, you run up in these little kids and then buy them a car. So now they conflicted to the point where they starting to actually indulge in the shit because this little kid got everything he ever wanted. All he got to do is let you do what you doing. And now you flying them to exotic places, taking them to trips all over the place. And if you look at these young men, a lot of them, after they come clean about what pastor do to them, a lot of them go on to be transgenders and homosexuals. Because how do you go? Now a lot of them do, but you know how hard it is to go to a normal relationship after that? This shit is crazy. You taking trips, getting the little boys passports and taking them all over the world, buying them new cars, exotic trips, and then I don't know. I don't even know if I keep watching this dude. This dude is rough, man.
To New York City, Thailand. When you really think about that for a second, he was literally just shipping these boys all across the world. And this is in private jets, and this was on commercial flights. In one of the interviews that I'm going to play a little snippet for you, one of the boys actually stated that when he would travel with Eddie Long would tell people, "This is my son." I guess to disguise why he was there. But because he was so entrenched with the boys, it was so psychological at that point. I think that the boys thought, yeah, this is my dad. They were actually required to call him dad or daddy, but for the most part, they were required to call him dad. So he built this bond and this trust with the boys, which is just it's just kind of heartbreaking. It really is. It's really heartbreaking. It's so wild.
And now y'all know Eddie Long is the one they used to say was a pimp. They used to call him the pimp and the way he used to dress and all of that. Now, that's a common pimp tactic, the whole daddy thing. So you replacing, a lot of these kids, these little kids come from broken homes. So you filling the void of being a father figure to them because they don't have one. And then you taking that privilege and using it to violate the children. Then you flying them to exotic places all over the world. But you had your congregation, the people whose children these are, they paid for the private jets you got. You had your congregation get you a private jet so you could smuggle their children all around the world and molest them and buy them cars and shit. And he wouldn't be able to do any of this if he wasn't the pastor. Y'all don't see how fucked up this is? I can't even deal with that sick motherfucker no more. I'm not dealing with him no more. So we did Creflo Dollar. We did Eddie Long. Now let's see who else we got. This your boy Kirk. Now what the fuck is going on? Robert. I be trying to tell y'all, I ain't gonna get too deep into it, but I be telling y'all, this is ceremonial. So when you see him acting like that, and you see the drummer, okay, if I'm drumming and my drumming is affecting the primary performer, I'm gonna stop and get the performer together. The fact that the drummer is turning up even harder, the more that Kirk Franklin get the bugging out, it lets you know this is ritualistic. They got Kirk Franklin under that MK Ultra shit, just like everybody else. That's why he on stage twerking and grinding and shit when he's supposed to be a goddamn pastor. He touching his son and all type of shit, just like everybody else. And I ain't finna just say it, I'm finna show you. Where's the... Is this the one? Oh no, wait, let me see. No, this is the one.
Listen to the audio, okay? Because I mean, this is. I woke up this morning and I saw this and I was like, what? P-A-S-C-A-L. Kirk Franklin. As you know, we have been keeping an eye. We've been keeping an eye on Kirk Franklin, okay? Like crazy. We've been keeping an eye on Kirk Franklin and this story with Carry On and how there's been allegations and all that, right? Well, we saw the interview, okay? We saw the interview. We all sat through the interview together, the Tamron Hall interview where Kirk Franklin and his wife sat next to each other and addressed the world about all of this ish, right? Well, now there is audio that is allegedly his son talking about Kirk Franklin molesting him. We're going to listen to the audio, okay? Because I mean, I woke up this morning and I saw this and I was like, what? Now, before we go any further, let's take a listen to this real quick. There's no visuals. This is just. Thank you, Lady Justice, for the $10 super chat. Thank you so much, sweetheart. Thank you. Okay, so this, she said, because it's payday. Yeah, it is Friday, right? So this is the audio. I want you guys to hear it. It's really hard to hear, okay? So I'm going to try to play it a couple different times, okay? So let's take a listen. Hopefully it's not too loud for you guys.
After everything I did to you, you play his music tonight. You showed your ass tonight, people. Thank you, play Mama Leslie's music.
Did you hear that? Let me play that one more time. I'm going to play a little bit closer to where he says the line. I want you guys to hear this. Hear it.
You showed your ass tonight, Caesar. Man, just blame Mama left his music.
You hear that? One more time.
Okay, yeah. Now, let me. If y'all didn't see it, let me tell you what's going on. So, like, he over there, this Kurt Franklin's son, him and a bunch of friends is kicking it somewhere, and one of the friends throw on Kurt Franklin new song, and the son snap out like, "How you just gonna play my molester's music right in front of me?" And then it goes into this whole conversation with him and his friends about, I told y'all before what dude done to me, blah, blah, blah. I had reported on this when it first dropped 2 years ago. So we just revisiting it. But yeah, that's really what the scenario is. So now let me go back to it.
You showed your ass tonight, Caesar. Man, just blame Mama left his music.
You hear that? Let's play a little bit longer.
You showed your ass tonight, Caesar. Man, just blame Mama left his music. Everything I've been through, you gonna play his music tonight.
After everything I've been through, you're gonna play this music tonight? That's what he just said. Allegedly, let me just say that again. Allegedly, this is Kirion saying this. This is Kirk Franklin's son.
Hold on, y'all. Now it ain't no motherfucking down south in the building. What's happening, baby? It ain't no motherfucking allegedly. That's Kurt Franklin's son. He did a whole bunch of interviews afterwards saying he said it. He reiterated and came flat out and said it. That's Kurt Franklin's son. And he said, how you gonna play my molester music right in front of me? Y'all showing y'all ass tonight. So now that's Creflo Dollar, Eddie Long, Kurt Franklin. And Kurt Franklin, you nasty as hell. That's your own damn son. But why is it that all of these pastors like little boys? But then I just showed y'all that the Pope just said it's open season for boys to like boys. And we approve it. And so now that's just setting the stage for pedophilia. Now, the biggest pedophile on the planet, when the biggest pedophile on the planet step forward and say, I approve of people being gay. Y'all can't see this? Now, the number one movement in America is the LGBTQTV and all of that. And now they are men who want to dress like women and come teach at the school to your children. And they are the people who keep getting in class and against the teacher's will decide they want to hand out sexual education pamphlets and gay pamphlets. And see, if it don't got nothing to do with our children, why the fuck we keep always ending up having to talk about the children? Every time we mix this thing, it end up having to deal with our children. Now, hold on. Come on, we ain't gonna stop now.
Welcome back, Golly Vibes family, my brothers and sisters. Boy, oh boy, do we have a show for you today. Today's episode, oh my Lord, it took me into a rabbit hole. But you are going to be shocked when we get to the end of this thing. It is going to be on this.
My beautiful husband right there. He took us under his proverbial and...
That's Pastor Shirley Caesar with a man who calls himself a bishop talking. And she finds out that the man who calls himself a bishop has a husband. Or, as they call it, first gentleman. Yeah. You heard me right, ladies and gentlemen. First gentleman. Let's watch it one more time. This is Pastor Shirley Caesar's reaction, okay?
my beautiful husband right there. He took us under his proverbial and prophetic wings, accepting us, honoring us, respecting us, embracing us.
You see the sister over there? She like, Shirley, come on now. We'll talk about when we get in the car. Shirley was about to go off. So they're at Carlton Pearson's funeral, I believe, right? And then for those who don't know who Shirley Caesar is this sister right here? Would give.
So now, so black relationships and black love is historically at one of the lowest points it's ever been. And now we got pastors promoting men to be with men. See, y'all think it's about sexual preference. You don't understand how this destroys the black family nucleus. And if you don't, I like the way you said that. If you don't have a family nucleus, then you can't get up out of your current state that you keep saying that you're gonna get out of. You can't do that as bad bitches and real niggas. Cause bad bitches and real niggas get together, have one night stands, and create young savages. Bad bitches and real niggas have one night stands and create young savages. And those are three things that we don't need any more of. So you got to look at where this whole thing is coming from. Every day of the week is named after a Greek and Roman god. This is a Greco-Roman society. They created your religions. This is a Greco-Roman utopia you live in. And the Greeks and the Romans are historically pedophiles. So it's only logical that any society that they reign over is going to be full of what? Homosexuals and pedophiles. I keep telling you, that's why your religion says father and son. All you worship is the father and the son. That's why it's so easy for you to say, fuck that bitch. Because you're about phallic worship. All religions in the Western world are about phallic worship. You don't know what that means? Look it up. There's women here. I'm respectful. That's the whole thing. So a lot of these things that y'all subscribing to, if you knew what they was about, you wouldn't dare. If you knew what the scripture really said about Jesus and John the Beloved's relationship, you look at that differently. If you knew what the theologians really said about Jesus and John's relationship, if you thought for a second and analyzed what made Judas kiss Jesus on the lips, we so caught up in that was the kiss of death. Oh, he set him up. Fuck that. Why did he kiss him in the first place? You don't have to answer it. I already know you're going to make an excuse for it. I'm just putting it out there. Same reason why he takes a 14-year-old boy away from his girlfriend, moves him into his house, and then lets him sit on his lap all the time. I know you talk to not ask questions. It's fine. It's cool. but it's in the book. All you gotta do is pay attention. What really happened with Noah and his son? The little boy walked into a room, or put it this way: you have a little boy in the room with a drunk, naked man. The next thing you know, the little boy runs out and go tell his brothers. The next thing you know, the little boy's in trouble. Gee, where have we seen that shit before? Yeah, I know they told you. He got in trouble because he seen his dad naked. So let me get this straight. I get drunk, pass out naked in the middle of the floor, and then I wake up and curse the kids out. Now, it could happen. Drunk people do stupid shit. What I don't understand is if I get drunk, pass out naked in the living room floor, and then wake up and curse the kids out, that's all on me. What makes this story weird is when God supports it. That's a little weird for me. You got all of these things that you hear and you just refuse to really pay any attention to. So then they kind of just fly over your head. And then you be in a sermon hearing shit like this and don't even pay no attention.
The worst that could happen if everything was true, all I got to do is repent sincerely from my heart. There's enough power in the blood to cover all kinds of sins. I don't care what it is, the blood would fix it. But I ain't got to repent about this. All I got to
Wait. See, it's so much wrong with that fucking statement. It's a boatload of shit wrong with what he just said. First of all, you're being accused of being a power bottom, whatever that means. There's no even if I did it. They're accusing you of take that, Turtle Man. They're accusing you of being at the Diddy party having like you're the entertainment for the night. Like they called up TD Jakes and said, "Hey TD, we need you to twerk for the party tonight," and you was like, take that. That's what they're accusing you of. And you talking about even if I did it, that lets us know you're guilty, motherfucker. That part. Okay, let's get to the next part. Even if you did it, there's enough blood to cover. Now, I know what y'all thinking. You talking about the blood of Jesus. That doesn't make what I'm about to say any better. Yes, he's talking about the blood of Jesus. He is. What the fuck he's talking about is a voodoo ceremony. Like, let's do it this way. If I cut some blood, drip it out my hand, and start calling on a deity, depending on what I'm willing to do for that deity, I could get my problems erased. So when he says there's enough blood, he purposely ain't specific because he's talking about ritualistic ceremony. But you didn't catch that because you too busy talking about, yes, sir, amen. There's enough blood to cover me. See, when they in church talking about you covered in the blood of Jesus, that's voodoo. That's witchcraft. You shouldn't be covered in anyone's blood, no matter what the reason, unless you're doing a ceremony. So, covering you in the blood of Jesus is not a righteous act. It is a ritualistic ceremony that you don't control, so ain't no telling what you're really signing up for. Now, the other thing he said is, no matter what I do, God gonna fix it. Now, what you have to understand is, it is this very same principle that has fucked us all. Because the moment they came up with the New Testament and we accepted it, we double lost. Because what this says is if Jesus died for your sins, if Jesus died for the sin of man, don't y'all realize that means sin doesn't exist anymore? That's why they tell you all you got to do is come repent and you can be saved, which means no matter what filthy ass heinous act I do, as long as I come back and repent, I can be saved. And y'all be like, that's true, that's true. Okay, asshole. Well, look at the condition of the world and tell me if this was a good system. Because you're looking at what a world would look like if Jesus died for your sins. You would see pedophilia, baby rape. You'd see all of this madness because why? Because there's no sin. So this is what the pastor is perpetuating when they're doing all of these rotten things to your children. This is what he just said. No matter what I've done, all I got to do is take it to Jesus and he will fix it. Do you understand how fucking sick that is? That means there's no cutoff line. And if there's no cutoff line, then there's nothing to gauge if we going too far. And then you wake up in a world where the number one commodity on this planet is stolen children. How the fuck? Listen to me when I tell you. You got all of these religious people every week begging y'all for money. They're buying mega churches and houses and private jets. And none of them are advocating for the children. How come? We just did the math on what was it, 180,000 children a month come up missing? 180,000 children a month come up missing. It ain't not one pastor on the planet speaking about finding the children. It ain't one pastor. Like we find out TD Jakes doing what he doing and we making memes and we making jokes. I can't say what I want to say because they're going to say I'm trying to do something I'm not trying to do. But what I'm saying is this. You have a man. We have multiple men who under the guise of, y'all say y'all love God so much, y'all be going to bat. Anytime somebody say something about Jesus, y'all ready to go to war and kill him. Anytime somebody mention Jesus or God in the slightest, you ready to lose everything over it. But it can be 180,000 children missing every month. And the representatives of God ain't talking about it. Why? Ain't those God children? So God doesn't have a problem with the fact that all of these babies are coming up missing? You don't think that bothers God? And so God hasn't put it on the heart of not one American preacher to advocate for children, the missing ones. There's not one person on the planet besides me that get up here every week and speaks about missing children. And I have no following. Just think about that. I'm the only person on the planet that gets up here every week and says, why aren't we doing something about the missing children? No politicians, no entertainers, no evangelist, no pastor, nobody, not one person. I'm the only person on the planet every night talking about missing kids. But there's 180,000 children missing every month. And my little bitty ass channel is the only person on the planet talking about it. That don't bother y'all? That don't make a fucking light bulb go off like, wait a minute, he got a point. There's not one person in the world advocating for 180,000 children per month just gone. And these guys right here just meeting little boys and fondling them every chance they get. And you got this guy, you got to watch out for these slick guys because it's a guy named Larry Reed. And you can tell he's sweet as I don't know what. But he got everybody fooled. He got the diamonds and he got the popular look and he wear Louis and all of this. But he clearly is a homosexual, man. And he's got this story about him being and he loves to tell this story about how he got molested and the molester used to bust in his mouth, like busting his mouth. Excuse me, y'all. So now that guy is a pastor, and all week, for 2 weeks straight, he been on TD Jakes' heels, doing all kind of shows about TD Jakes. Well, his name is Larry Reed. Let's listen to a little bit about Larry Reed. And this was just a couple months ago. These allegations are less than a year old.
Ministry that I've been in, the men deal with the little boys and the women deal with the girls.
Okay.
You know, and so they do things with them and they take them places and they, whether it's playing ball, bowling, whatever it is, they spend time with them.
You know what was weird is when I found out that Reed had sex with men, and then he says online that his wife left him for a woman.
We was talking about the tattoos and stuff. Like, don't put anything on your body. It was you damn to hell if you had a tattoo, if you wore earrings. Everybody came to the church had earrings. The guys had to take them out. They couldn't wear them. You couldn't get tattooed. What he taught us not to do and was a sin then, so he's doing it himself. If it happened to one of his kids, he's gonna go to the depths of whatever to make sure that whoever did.
We're standing up, and he was like, "Well," he pulled his camera, pulled the computer. He turned the computer around and like turned the camera on the computer, and he was like, "Well, just dance, like you just dance." He's like, "We'll record it, and you just dance." And I'm standing there naked, in my mind, confused as hell. For one, because I'm like, first, I'm not for the dance naked in my mind or something thinking, but I didn't have the balls to be like, no. I didn't have the balls to just say no. But I'm trying to make it like I'm trying to present like I'm just like confused or like weird about like, you know. But in my mind, I'm like, I'm not dancing naked. What are you talking about? And so he was like, well, why don't you just turn around and just turn around in a circle? So I started weirdly turning in a circle, and I look back and I see the cover doing this. See the cover moving like this. He started jacking off. He started jacking off.
Does he ever ask you at any time for you to penetrate him?
Now that's Larry Reed. That's a new guy who's actively now all of his allegations just poof, disappeared. He had a bunch of allegations about 8 months ago. About 8-9 months ago, he had a bunch of allegations. That's one of the guys who came forward. I watched, dude got a long interview. He get into detail. Larry, and he's a little bit younger than all these other guys, and he liked to get you butt naked and get you to dance on camera for him. Chins, what's going on, young king? So now, why is it that all of these pastors, all of the prominent, and all of these dudes is millionaires? What is their thing with hiding? And if it's not a big deal, why they hiding it? Why are they hiding these relationships with young boys? And then later on, all of these boys is coming out saying what happened to them. But here's the thing. Here's the biggest thing. And then we're going to get out of here and go to Clubhouse. Here's the biggest thing. How come these young boys can come out look at this guy.
I remember standing up.
This guy, now that young boy who you just see, he did like an hour something show with Tasha K. And he's done several interviews coming out literally saying this guy right here who's actively doing podcasts and taking everybody's money, he's an active pastor. He's pastoring his own church. He's got a big ass podcast. This guy used to strip me butt naked and make me dance for him and ejaculate in his face. This dude is coming out saying it. Why come there's a system set in place where the victims have to do more than the victimizer? Like all the victimizer got to do is just just dish out a little bit of money and hold it tight. And sooner or later it go away. Why? Why is it so easy for the people who abuse children? Why is it so easy just to pay them and make it go away? Why? Why is that even an option? Why is it even an option that you could rape little boys and write a check and don't go to jail for it? Why is that even an option? Fuck a settlement. Why is there a settlement for raping a little boy? You could come back 10 years later and say, I finally got the courage to tell what happened to me as a little child. It was him right here. This is what he did. I got the proof. I got the dates. I got all the information I could do what everybody else do. Take a lie to take the test. I passed the lie to take the test. Why is it so hard? Just like we had that boy, Larry Sinclair. Y'all hear me talk about him all the time. He had 3 times. He testified in front of the grand jury 3 times that he was the homosexual lover of Barack Obama. They did crack together and all kind of stuff. He passed several lie detector tests. And nothing happened. Why is a system set up like this where the burden of proof is on the victim more than the victimizer? How many times have we seen people that we know are totally fucking guilty pay their way out? Why is that an option when in the courtroom you have to put your hand on the very same Bible we're talking about and swear to tell the truth? And you can put your hand on that Bible, swear to tell the truth, and walk out of that courtroom a pedophile who got away with it. All I had to do was spend a couple of dollars. You write a settlement for $1.8 million, and we so stupid, we sitting back like, well, at least they got paid. This bitch worth $100 million. What the fuck did $1.8 million do to a guy worth $100 million? He wrote that check, took a good shit, and then went online and looked at some more little boys. At this rate, I could do this forever. 1.8 whenever they catch me. In the meantime, I get to keep making hundreds of millions and raping little boys. And if I get caught, I just pay somebody $1 million or $2 million. Why does that even exist? They doing more than pay them off, some type of scare tactics. But why does, you're right, but why does that even exist? Why do we live in a society where after you rape a child, the option to do anything other than go to prison exists? But if you black and you got any drugs on you, you're going to jail. But if you rape a child, you got a chance of getting off. I could sell crack, and it's guaranteed I probably ain't gonna make it to the end of the month. But I could rape kids and get away with it for years. And even if they do catch me, you get a year or two, or you write a check. Why does this even exist? Is the point y'all not making the connection to? The only logic I can make out of that question is it has to be the same people making the laws that's taking and raping the kids. That's the only option. There's no other logic. Unless you had some vested interest in this, it would be common sense that the most time you could get on this planet for anything would be rape and pedophilia. What crime is worse than violating somebody sexually or violating a child? There's nothing worse than that. Murder's not worse than that. I feel like you should get less time for murder than pedophilia. People will get 5 years for rape and pedophilia and get 20 for murder. Why? After I kill you, you don't have to deal with it no more. After I rape you, you stuck with that the rest of your life. After I molest a child, they stuck with that the rest of their life. I get 2 years and I get to go back to the world, get a stupid ass program where I pretend I don't want to rape more little boys until they catch me doing it again. Because it's obvious once you did it once, you're gonna do it again. If you could fix your mind to touch a child, you're never gonna unfix that. Do you understand? You're breaking the God code. You're disconnecting yourself from God. After you rape a child, you can't hear God no more. You can't communicate with God after you rape babies. Ain't no conversation you and God can have. So once you disconnect it from that which is, you might well just keep it going. And they do. I'm not saying you might well just keep it going, but I'm saying what else is there? And these people know that. That's why it's no consequence for it. Because they're all fucking doing it. That's the only logic. They're all doing it. Otherwise, it would be listen, they don't all sell crack. And when you get caught with it, you go up the river. Why? Because they don't benefit from it outwardly. So they benefit more from locking you up for it. See, it's all about how they benefit. They benefit the most when you get locked up for crack. They obviously benefit the most when you don't get locked up for pedophilia. Why? Because it's more pedophiles than crack dealers. This is a 2 + 2 moment. And that's what makes it sad. Because y'all get mystified by all the hooping and hollering and by fat Ninja Turtle looking motherfuckers in dresses that should be, I don't even know what the fuck he is. It's the oldest trick in the book, and they've been running this kind for the longest. You looking all fancy and smelling good and talking high caliber and talking about God and feeling on your son butt. That's the whole thing right there. When are we gonna learn? It's not just one or two of them. Every time they put a major one in front of us, he like, boys, name me one that didn't. This shit been going on. And I didn't even play the rest of that Jim Jones shit where he's talking about it don't matter to me, man, woman, sexuality don't matter to me. Why are we talk about these pastors ripping the people off? The pastors live tax-free courtesy of the government, which means the government is paying the black church, the churches in general, to brainwash you. If the government is fucked up and corrupt, just think. The last thing I'm gonna say to y'all, if the government is fucked up and corrupt, y'all all admit that. Why would a corrupt government give you free religion? Because they don't charge the pastor. The pastor get to set up shop for free. Why in a corrupt system does he allow you God for free? Don't give me no mystical, magical bullshit ass. Let's use logic. If the system is corrupt, that means they don't want you to know what's right. You say they stole your history and you say the education system is faulty. So if they stole your history and the education system is faulty, the only reason why they stole your history, stole your religion, stole your education. Okay. Stole your identity. Okay. That means they don't want you to know who you are. Hey, but here's God. I don't want you to know shit about yourself, but here's the real God. You can talk to him and heal yourself. I hate you. I don't want anything good to come of you. I enslave you and rape all of you. But I will introduce you to God. Because maybe my job is to manipulate you, rape you, and misuse you. How does me introducing you to God, who's going to give you all the things that you need to beat me? Why would I do that? Yet and still, you've been introduced to this God and you still getting your ass whooped. Light bulb, cartoon moment. We are on the way to Clubhouse. It'll be we shooting for 8:30. Yeah, but I'm going to McDonald's first because I need some French fries. So I know McDonald's fries is poison. It's a guilty pleasure. I don't even feel proud to tell y'all. The only reason why I'm telling y'all is because if something should happen to me, at least y'all know what the fuck it was. But yeah, I've been on the move all day. I've been eating on the run. It hasn't been good. So that's what it is. Oh, you say y'all on fan base. Yeah, I heard that. I gotta figure out how to I don't know. I never been on there. I don't know how to connect it, guy. Y'all gonna have to show me how to do it. But yeah, I'm rocking. Everything poison at this point. Just take that risk. Everything poison at this point. Just take the risk. The queen ain't lying about that one. So this is what we doing then. We going to Clubhouse to finish this. Y'all just give me 30 minutes and shit. I'll be there. Y'all came too late, man. We was super cooking. Everybody. We were super cooking. So if you missed some of it, just double back and catch the first half because this one was deep. And please share this one too because we got to get this one out here. We got to stop falling for the pastor hustle. But I'm telling y'all right now, the champ is back in the ring. I got a debate this Saturday at 7:00. It'll be on here. And it'll be on Clubhouse. And I bought a championship belt. The belt say Misinformation Nation. It's gold. It got the shits on there. And so it'll be here any day now. So as soon as I get the belt, y'all know I'm gonna throw it on my shoulder and walk around talking real greasy. But I'm doing like a real champ. Even though the belt is mine, I'm putting the title on the line Saturday. Whoever wins, walk away with it. If I lose, he walk away with the belt. If I lose, he walk away with the belt. I'm putting the title on the line. And I'm telling y'all, understand something. Since I paid for it and I'm putting the title on the line, I'm coming in rare form. I'm going to be like Neo in the Matrix. I'm telling you that now. If you think I'm coming to play with this guy, you out your fucking mind. I ain't stopped studying since he set the date. That's what he don't know. Since I've been putting my shit together since we set the date. I don't never do that. I usually wait a week until and then just knock that shit out. But because it's in my city and he talks so greasy, I'm gonna make an example out this fella. And this is my guy too. I like him. This is my dude. But I'm gonna Heimlich his ass. And he know it too. I'm gonna put him in a scorpion death lock. He won't get out of this one. I'm telling you, this one, I'm coming hard. And if you have, and that's another thing too, I thought about this because I thought about the people who've been watching me debate before. Some of them gonna be there. And so I had some of the same information that would have still worked. And I went and looked at it today and I started over. So now, guaranteed, you're getting 3 rounds of new information because it's a similar topic. So I don't want people to think like, oh, he debated this topic. I'm coming with new shit. The shit that I said in them other debates, I'm not using. I threw it all out. So this is all new information, and we're going to prove without a doubt Christianity was created by slave masters for slaves. That's the topic of the debate. Was Christianity created by slave masters for slaves? And it's gonna be a good one. So that's what we're doing this Saturday, 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. And it's gonna be 3 rounds, and it's gonna be heavy. And after that, I'm gonna throw that belt over my shoulder, you know. And I might walk around the city with my arms out, like you know how men do when we leave the gym and we be like, and y'all be looking at us like, why this nigga arms won't go down? Cause we feel like we swole. We not fronting. I know y'all think we fronting. We not fronting. I promise you, we not fronting. We really come off the bar like. And be looking at big niggas crazy too, like, do this nigga know what I'm lifting? Like 200 pounds less than him, but it don't matter. Because psychologically, boy, I'm telling you, hey, that's how I'm gonna walk up off that. That's how I'm gonna walk away Saturday. Throw that bitch on my shoulder, like, down south, I need you in the building. I need CMB in the building, man. I'm gonna put on the clinic Saturday. Man, I know we had our differences in the past, but I still love my brothers, man. I need y'all in the building Saturday because I'm gonna be like Money May Saturday. I'm gonna knock this guy out. I'm telling you now, and I'm gonna tell you now, I'm not going for the decision. I'm not going for the decision. I would consider this a failure if it had to go to the judges. I want this guy sleep in the first round. I want this guy sleep in the first. If he don't go to sleep in the first round, he ain't gonna feel comfortable getting that. If he ain't sleep in the first round, when they say ding ding for the second, he ain't gonna want to. You said what, sir? Oh, yeah. Mickey D's, I'm gone. Y'all right. I'm hungry as fuck. All right. I only did this because I was 15 minutes late, so I was trying to make up for the extra time. I ain't want to short the family. But y'all know what it is. We on our way to Clubhouse. And that's it. Knowledge is the only real power. Information is the only real currency, but the application of both is the route to divinity. I love y'all, family, and I'm gone.